Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the May 2nd, 2024 Police and Public Safety Committee meeting. I'm going to begin this meeting by taking attendance. I have Councilmember Brennan. Supervisor Puccini is going to be here. She's running a little bit late. Myself, Deputy Chief Twitty. I'm Clerk Michelle Martinelli. Here, thank you to Sergeant Henry for being here. I have Comptroller Elizabeth Greenwood. And we have Miss Jean Foley, who's in charge of community programs. I'm going to hold up on the minutes until the supervisor gets here to vote on those. We're going to move right into operations. Operationally, we're still working on our towing request for proposal for this year. I know last meeting I had said I anticipated it being done soon. We're hoping that by the end of this month, this will be done for the board to take a look at. Under fleet and equipment, the only thing I have is that our agency is going to need to surplus some miscellaneous decommissioned equipment. At some point, we have a treasure trove of radios and car parts and decommissioned equipment in the attic that we can no longer use on the current makes and models of our fleet because it doesn't fit, and also decommissioned radios and some other miscellaneous equipment. And also under this, we're going to talk about getting rid of some of the bicycles that we have retrieved over the past couple of years as part of this. So Attorney Finnan is aware of this. I'm putting it out there now. I'm going to work with her on getting a list together for this decommissioned equipment to be surplus. Under building, I did speak with Superintendent of Highways Ray Smith. We're going to take the fencing and wall off the agenda moving forward. He had spoken with myself and Town Supervisor. There are some other priorities for the building we have to work on first. So we're going to put it back on as we kind of get down the list of those other priorities and then discuss how we're going to do that moving forward. Also, I put it under building only because it is a physical structure, a range. I want to thank the superintendent of the highway department. They came down today, took photos. It's not on Facebook yet. They redid our road to our range with some millings and some crusher, and it looks excellent. They actually created like a little parking pad for us too, so we had a little bit more room down there. So thank you to them on that excellent job. Under training, Officer Brett Robinson will be attending instructor development course from May 13th through the 24th at the zone. Our agency is going to be conducting a department-wide spring range training, the 31st through the 31st of May through the 1st of June. This is one of two of our our range events. I always put this out there out loud because we fire live weapons. And so if folks hear live weapon fire down near the Aqueduct Road area on those two dates, we always notify our dispatch center, but that's what you're hearing most likely. Our agency is also completing training units on anti-bias policing and the LGBTQ community through Police One Academy. This is an annual training that we take on both of these. Under citizen correspondence, we have the ongoing conversation regarding traffic cameras to curtail speed and dangerous driving, specific to looking at red light cameras that I know Town Attorney Finnan and Assistant Town Attorney Assini were going to look into speaking with Albany's council regarding how they did this. Under new, Christian Larson wrote us concerned over commercial trucks in the Birchwood Road area and the need for sidewalks for pedestrian traffic. Birchwood has been historically an area that we've talked about with sidewalks in our committee and also in complete streets. It's more of a complete streets and town planner conversation than it is specific to us. However, we did conduct a speed data analysis of that area, and the analysis was done from April 19th through April 23rd. Total number of vehicles analyzed were 8,879. The speed limit there is 30 miles an hour. The average speed during that time frame was 31 miles an hour, with the 85th percentile being 35 miles an hour, which is what we would expect. Those are pretty normal rates. The one thing that our new traffic counter that we got last year, the Black Cat 3, can do is it also can measure the size of the vehicles that are passing by during that time frame. So we had a total of 5 tractor trailers in those 5 days. So not a huge volume of tractor trailers. However, that is a weight restricted road, and that was one of their concerns. So we're going to have the Traffic and Community Engagement Division, go over and sit in that area and kind of observe and see if we can't find, potentially, maybe it's the same tractor trailer every single day that's going down in that 5-day period, and have the conversation with them about the fact that they're not supposed to be knocked out. I did speak with Laura Robertson. She emailed back, Christian, this is going to be put back on Complete Streets Committee to discuss for pedestrian traffic safety. But beyond that, at this point, there's not a whole lot that the town police department is going to do other than just go attempt to address some of the concerns about the commercial vehicle traffic. Under town events, Coffee with a Cop again is at the Senior Center with myself, the third Tuesday of every month. Please come down and hang out with us. Also, it's not on the agenda, but I'm going to add it. Sergeant Relation told me that Target on the 17th of this month from 12 to 2 p.m. he's going to be conducting Coffee with a Cop at the Starbucks there. Thank you to Target and Starbucks for continuously supporting us with these events. The Pedal Paddle Run is back. It's going to be beginning at 8 a.m. on the 11th of May. This is down at the Aqueduct Park on the river in that area. So there is going to be some traffic concerns for a little bit there. It's not a huge event, but just as sort of a community note, if you want to sign up for it, please do. But if you were traveling through that area, understand that there is going to be a little bit of congestion for at least an hour or two down there. Niskaday, Niskaday is back. May 18th is when Niskaday is planned for. Joe, what's do we know what the theme is? 518. 518. I know that Mr. Bianchi, Vince Bianchi, is the Grand Marshal, correct? I believe he's the Grand Marshal of the event. Mr. Bianchi is a very well-known in our community. He actually taught me, and he's still around and hanging tough at the high school, helping out with different things. But Niskaday on the 18th, again, we say it out loud. Please plan accordingly if you're going to attend, or even if you're commuting through during the parade route area. It's all online. You may not be able to get to your house or leave your house depending on the time that you're leaving if you're in the parade route area. Every year we discuss this. We have some residents that sometimes have concerns about that. This happens every single year. So we just need to make sure that everybody is cognizant of that and plans accordingly, so that we don't have any congestions or complaints and concerns about that. Under town clerk, we're keeping that digital records retention conversation going. We gotta get together with Joe Drescher, Deputy Town Supervisor Joe Drescher, because I know he's gonna start looking at
So
that
I had a meeting with Deputy Supervisor and Deputy Attorney with Seth, and we just pulled together some of our materials, and I'm working to revise my current policy and getting the digital into that.
Oh.
So that's gonna take a little bit of work on our part
Perfect.
at this point.
Yeah, no, that's great.
We're working on it.
That's fantastic, Michelle. Thank you for that. Also, I just want to bring up under town clerk. So I was mentioning to Councilmember Brennan before the meeting, we're noticing sort of an uptick in dog control complaints, dog bites, things of this nature. I drive down River Road every single day, and on the way to work, sort of gander over at the dog park, and we have, which is a good thing, we have a fair amount of people, more so than I've ever seen, use the dog park in the mornings. And I was talking to Michelle about this because I don't know what our capacity for permits is. I don't know if that's ever even been discussed out loud, but I have to imagine a confined space probably has a maximum amount of dogs to be able to use at any given time. And with regards to that, I know we've talked about in the past that we do allow residents obviously to apply for a permit, but also people that are outside of our town to come in, and there's a separate fee that they can apply for. And I think we need to have a long-term discussion on sort of limiting or regulating what the capacity of the dog park is, and then prioritizing the permit process based on that, which obviously my recommendation would be our town residents first. So we maybe need to have a conversation about how many permits are we issuing a year, how many can be using the park at the same time, and then decide how we're going to sort of navigate it from there. Because obviously we want access first and foremost to our residents, if that makes sense.
And I do get emails from Bruce as to, is this dog was, that dog was, I always have to look it up. So he's He's working on it.
Good. And Michelle and I spoke, I mean, again, I was asking Michelle about it earlier, you know, I don't remember if we talked about overall outside user permit numbers, but you said in the past 2 days, there were 4 total dogs that were registered as outside users
Correct.
that have never used it before.
Correct.
Correct. So we have 4 new dogs in just 2 days. So I don't know if other parks have restrictions, and maybe that's why they're coming here. I'm not really sure.
And these are non-Niskuna residents, but Schenectady County.
Right.
Mhm.
Right. And again, it's all resource driven. So if we have more dogs coming to our park and then we have an issue with them, we all know that our dog control officer explains to people all the time, it's a very pertinent position to go follow up on these things if something does happen. So the deputy chief would even speak to that extensively. Yes. On how busy they've been. So. I did not receive anything from the courts or the fire departments. Under school district, we're still looking at the school speed zones. I've been talking to town attorney Finnan about this. It's on our list of things that we're sort of working through the different projects. Our Cops and Kids reading program, Hillside is the host school for May. Great feedback coming back from this. Sergeant Relation is doing an excellent job. Appreciate all his hard work. I also added under this school resource officer program, and the reason I did that, we have countless community members, town residents, and school community residents reaching out to us, asking us about a school resource officer program. I know it's been in the news recently. Our town supervisor Puccino spoke about it the other night because of the amount of people that are reaching out to us regarding this. And, you know, we sent someone to training last year, Sergeant Mara, to be prepared because we knew that people started asking these questions, and we wanted to be ready and able and willing and able to build out a program should our school district decide to partner on this. I just want to say out loud, I fully support this type of a program, specifically if our district wants to do it. We would love to collaborate with them on this and get a model that fits our community's needs and what our school district would want. Again, though, this is at the school district's discretion. We don't choose these things, we just support them. So it's really on the school district, the Board of Education, the superintendent to decide that this is what they feel that they want in the district. And then we would be there with full support to help collaborate and build it, but we're ready, willing, and able to do that at this point, should they decide to do that. Under personnel, our agency continues to evaluate resumes for potential lateral police officer transfers and canvass the current civil service list for potential new hires. We do currently have 3 potential candidates that we would be looking to put in the academy. I'm not speaking about them out loud yet because there's still some processing that has to happen, but we have so far checked a lot of the major boxes with them, including the backgrounds, medicals, psychological evaluations, and other things. So we may have some folks by this May meeting that we were looking to swear in, which is an excellent thing. Also under personnel, we're looking to do permanent appointments for Sergeant Brandon Mara and Officer Michael Thomason. Sergeant Mara, I say this every single time, I can't believe how fast time goes. He's our midnight sergeant. He's doing an excellent job there, getting the folks there situated because we have some new officers on that shift. And he has been doing exemplary work and he has my full support. And I recommend him for permanent appointment. Officer Michael Thomason, I can't say enough good things about Mike. He is just a guy that comes to work and does the work and grinds it out and does it the right way. He was a great hire for us. I'm very excited about his future. And again, I would give the recommendation fully to permanently appoint him as well. And I'm looking forward to what both of the future holds for them. Under other, we're still talking about a town event application and sort of looking through that. Again, this is outside of the regular permit process that would go through the town clerk. This is something a little bit more collaborative to give us checklists so that we were ensuring that any department or resource through the town that would need involvement in whatever the event that the individual was attempting to host, would be contacted and work through that process with us, so we're all communicating together on whether or not we can actually provide those resources for those events. Also under other, we are going to be doing our first department awards ceremony since 2009. This is something that is very near and dear to my heart. I believe in recognizing good work and making sure that people feel valued for their hard work. We formed an award committee in 2023 that's comprised of the Lieutenant Frenier, some detectives, some patrol officers, some sergeants. Anyone can recommend anyone for an award, and it goes through this process where the award committee reviews it and then gives their ultimate recommendation to me. I'm happy to say we have, I don't remember the exact total number of awards, but it's quite a few awards that we're going to be presenting this year. And we're also, in conjunction with that, going to do a ceremonial resolution that the town board is going to vote on during the main meeting. Police Week is coming up. It's in May, and this is the appropriate time to do these things. So we're going to be pushing that forward, which I'm excited about because, as I said, the officers, part of the reason the resolution is so important is because it's a permanent record of the fact that you awarded it and it actually exists. It can never be taken away. It's there. So I think it's a really good process. I'm excited for us to do this, and I look forward to that ceremony. Also under other, I have to add, I had it in my book, but I didn't put it on the agenda because it's an oversight on my part. We have tuition reimbursement we need to do again for Officer Breslin. I have for both the summer and fall semesters as he continues to work towards his mental health counseling master's degree. He's taking courses on career counseling, community mental health counseling, and developmental psychology in the upcoming semesters. So I would recommend that we continue to support him to do that because those are great assets to have for our community and for our police department. The last thing I have is just our resolutions. So we have the appointment of a police officer, maybe multiple, tentative. We have the permanent appointment of a police sergeant, the permanent appointment of a police officer, put on tentative for the towing RFP, with the ceremonial resolution for our awards, and then the summer fall tuition reimbursement. Does anyone have anything else?
I just have a quick question on the RFP. Is that a resolution to put out the RFP or to accept it?
We should put it out.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yes. Town Attorney Finn is still working on the language.
Okay,
with,
I wasn't sure what it was. Thank you.
Yeah, Mr. Sim. So
I heard we might have a date for the night out.
It's August 6th.
Okay.
August 6th.
And the only thing I need from you is, could you give me a connection for the PBA? I think it was the PBA you wanted me to talk to?
It's going to be, so David Powell is the president. He's going to be one point of attack, but from the PD, it's going to be Sergeant Lynch.
Okay.
Those are the two.
So I'll reach out to Jeff, but I don't know, if you want me to reach out to them or you want Jeff to reach out to?
Why don't you reach out to Jeff and I'll get you in contact with him.
Perfect, okay. Next, I think it's going to be June 6th, I need to get this thing up.
August or June?
August.
August.
No, I'm just noticing that the next meeting's June
Oh,
6th.
I
I'm
got
like, yeah.
Yeah. Let's tell us about it.
Indeed.
Excellent time.
Just in time to vote on the minutes.
Okay.
I need a motion to accept the April 11, 2024 minutes. Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor? Any opposed? And with that, we're going to conclude this meeting. Thank you. Listen, this is what we needed you here for. The next
Be useful.
meeting is going to be scheduled for June 6th, 2024 at 3:30 p.m. Thank you, everybody, for attending. And with that, we'll conclude.
Okay, hold on one second. I'm out yet.